All right, all right. Hey everybody, how you doing? We are back again with another creative of the month. And this time around we have our guest Asha Brown. She is our creative of the month for, is it May? Yes, May. And
Yeah.
we
Nah,
and
Kevin made a
sharing,
mistake last time, so I have to double check.
yeah, I have to double check exactly, exactly. But yeah, man, we're going to be talking to Asha. She is an illustrator and a, well, I guess we'll get into later on whether you want to be an animator or not, because I
I
do
do
know that
things.
you do things. Well, you do things, and I know a particular lecturer at UE who calls you her unofficial animation student. So yeah.
The
But
best
Shireen,
kind, man.
I'm gonna hand it over to you, and you can take it away.
Ooh, yay. Okay, let's start with the most fun question. How badly do you hurt when you see your old art, Asha? Like, how
um,
does it feel?
I don't feel it. Like I collect my old art, so I have a folder that I keep
Hmm.
stacked up with papers from like first form of my drawings because I don't feel anyway when I say that. Actually like them. I will look back at them and be like, wow, I was doing so good back then. But like, I do better now. But I like my old art. I don't feel like I don't cringe or anything. They're kind of, but I like that. I like collecting them so that I can look back at it and be like, oh, I came so far.
Um, I'm jealous. I need to take on that mindset because
Yeah,
sometimes when I see my old art, I be like,
Okay, it
"You're
will
doing
always
good."
not look as good as you remember it. So you just have to remember there was a
yeah,
point in time when it looked great to me.
That's true.
yeah.
That's very
And
true.
I'm the opposite because I don't get a chance to draw much. I look on my
Mm.
art now and go, man, I have so much work to do. But at least I'm not doing too badly. Then I look on my old art and go, I was way better back then. I'm actually getting worse. I need to fix that. I need to
It
fix
feels
that.
like that sometimes. It really do feel like that sometimes.
Art is not a straight curve. It
Yeah.
So
everything.
true.
Okay. So let's. I'm sure you will be asked this question many times. What age did you start drawing? Where did you
Oh.
learn to draw? Self-taught? School? Magic?
Okay. Make a little magic. So my dad is actually he loves art, right? So when from we're like babies, essentially, he put a pencil in our hand and try to make us draw stick people, and then he just leaves us to develop it and take it further however we see fit. So he'll encourage us as kids. Our art looks great. Draw the stick people. It's amazing. And then I just continued and kept learning and watching YouTube and teaching myself. Yeah, it's just basic, just teaching myself really for a majority of the things. You do art in high school, but they have a strict box that they put you in.
Curriculum? Hmm.
Yeah, I did not like it. So when she's like teaching us how to draw the head, I'm like, I'm gonna do it my way, cause I don't like that structure. So I'm gonna do it my way. So I feel like it's mainly me just teaching myself because I have many interests. So I decided to just teach it all to me. And luckily, I had my dad there encouraging every single thing.
Right, right, right.
Okay. All right. So this is it's kind of strange to ask this because you said you weren't embarrassed by your old pieces. So when did you know you were good? Like when did you get the feeling like I have hit good. I'm
Oh.
now at that level of good.
I've always been good at jokes. I mean, I don't see myself as being good or above anything, but like I just like doing it. So like in primary school, I'll draw the comic. Like you get the children's zone, right? I'll draw Mickey Mouse, and then I could draw Mickey Mouse from memory. So I just
Hmm.
from that time, from like sixth grade when I drew Mickey Mouse, I was like that Mickey Mouse looks great. So I guess I just kept that mentality. So I wouldn't say I'm good. I'm just doing stuff and
Okay, so you
maintaining a
just
level.
all right. So you're having fun.
Yeah, I'm having fun.
Okay. All right. So do you have any rivals, art rivals, like in school or anyone who you compete against?
Not really, no. You see, okay, so I don't like the mentality of rivalry. I like to look at people and I say, I admire that person. I want to get on that person's level. So if you want to count that technically as rivalry, it's just like, oh, I admire you so much, I'm going to get to your level. so that
Yeah.
I can achieve greatness eventually. So I don't really have a rivalry. I just have people that like really boost. Like I love their works. I'm also like I'm going to get there. And it's
Okay.
more
You've never had that
determination, I guess.
situation. You've never had
Huh?
that
Yes.
situation. You look at someone's art and you just like, oh my God, why are they so good? Ah.
Look here, I do that every day. I do that every day. But that's just admiration. I was like, damn, that's so good. I'm gonna get there.
Uh,
But that's so good.
okay, so that
Gotcha.
opens up this
It's always
question.
motivation, yeah.
The motivation. Oh gosh. I'm just thinking of the artwork I looked at earlier today. But since you said that rivalry for you is people who inspire you, who are some of the people who inspire you? Who are some of the people you look at and you go, man, I'm gonna get there?
Okay, so I know Yume from Deviant Art, like from I knew her originally from her Deviant Art. She has some amazing work and some
Hmm.
amazing perspectives that I'm just like, damn,
How?
like it's so good. So I have Yume. Who else? Like it switches around a lot. For Chibi, you have Hanatsu on
Hmm.
Twitter. She does really cute chibis, and I like doing chibis, right? So I'm just like, I really love how she designs her chibis. I guess if we're going back into the days, we can say Mark Riley because I watch a ton of his videos. So Mark
Hmm.
Riley was also a big inspiration, I guess. Yeah, but I just love everyone's art. I can't really picture, but I love everyone's art. Trust me. Even like some
Okay.
of our local artists, you look at JoJo's art and it's just amazing. You look at Nathaniel, aka Stratus's art, and
Hmm.
every time I'm like, how do you do that? I love it so much. I look at, I say, I bookmark
That
their
dude is
things.
actually
I'm
that.
like, yeah,
That dude is
like
actually that.
he's look here. I literally drew. I struggled one time drawing hands, and when I drew my good hands, I was like, "How you do it, sir?" I had to message him and say, "I love how you draw hands. I love it so much. Teach me your way, senpai." But yeah, you just have to take inspiration from everyone. But I just love everyone's art.
I mean, I feel that way about Gary, and
Oh,
like if
Gary, oh my God, Gary, God bless Gary. Jesus, look here. Every time I look at that man's thing on a ball, I'm like, it's so
it's the
good.
expressions for me. I love his expressions.
And the
Um,
poses and everything is just great.
so you know Jojo going to cry because you gave her a shout out, right?
I love my friends. I love them all.
Aw.
I go, yeah, you're just going to see messages. So call Asha, don't call my name.
Look, at just know I love you guys all. Great work. If I were to list them all, we'd be here all day. Okay.
So I was gonna
Okay.
say
I
that
just make it scroll by on the screen.
if you want to give a Christmas greetings to everybody and big up Punchy and big up who you
Greetings
can
from
all.
across the world, aka Portmore. But
Well, it's not across the world. You're next door. I'm in Spanish though.
There you
we're in sync.
Two in St. Catherine, one in Kingston. Finally, we are the majority.
go.
Uh,
I believe
okay,
that.
Kevin, do you have any questions you want to ask, or am I just going?
Well, okay, so I'm gonna jump the gun here now and ask you because one of the things that well,
Hmm.
I've always heard about you from Chevy, but I think I finally met you, or I think the first time I met you was at I don't remember which anime convention it was at Campion, and like I saw you working your work in
2019, yeah.
yeah in 2019, and I noticed that you're heavily into merch. You know,
Yeah.
um, I wanted to know is that a hobby or side hustle, or is that something that you want to make an official business?
Okay, so the thing is, in Jamaica, right, they make it really hard to do passions, I'd say.
Mhm.
So even though I look here, I would go into it at a heartbeat. I'm trying to go into it right now. So it's a very great passion that I would want to make permanent. But currently, the way Jamaica is set is like I can't just dive into it straight ahead, or I'll have zero funds to do anything really. Because you need funds to make the merch. But I am looking into a lot of things. Trust me. I'm trying to do merch. I'm trying to make it out here like that. but Jamaica's current climate environment kind of pushes it aside. Like I'm not pushing it aside, the current environment is pushing it aside and making it more of a hobby, if you want to see it as that, because then you'd have to get the regular 9 to 5 job to try and make money to fund your merch. So just walk by in your frame. But yeah, it really sets it up so that you can't just dive full head on into it.
I like so I like
Wait, you're chipping out. You're chipping out. Okay, Kevin, not hear you.
hold on, let me see if I can get this back up and running.
Yeah, we can't hear you. No, but you did chip out some parts in your speech. Any question?
It's
Oh,
gone again.
Hear me now?
yeah,
Hear me
yeah,
now?
no. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I was
Don't
saying,
change
what are the
anything.
main challenges, in that in the whole merch thing?
Money. So, I decided. So, me personally, I decided that I wouldn't work like from my young because mental health. I focus on mental health in school, right? So I decided not to try and work to take up all my time because I was already reaching home at like 8 p.m. just in high school, and I had a lot of things that aren't realistic from just overwork, and I wasn't even working, right? So I tried to when you graduate now, I'm trying to look at jobs, but that makes it harder because you don't have the years of experience. So then you don't have funds to fund the merchandise. So everything I'm doing is just out of pocket. I have to try and do side hustles. The money is gone in 5 minutes. So it's really hard to get expendable funds to do this. And because Jamaica doesn't have like a merch centered climate or well merch that artists can do
Right.
centered climate, you have to go to the foreign entities to ship in, and then customs fee where the minimum is like the what do you call it? The threshold is $50, right? So,
Oh, right. Yeah.
everything costs it $50 plus the shipping fee, everything expensive. So not I don't have the expendable funds to do as much of that as I'd want, and that is really dampering things. So
Okay.
yeah, it's primarily funds. Yeah.
And what kind of merch do you sell?
Okay, so currently I'm working on doing stickers, right? I'm doing die cut stickers, sticker sheets, prints. I've been trying to get source papers, different types of papers. Then I plan to also like these are the things. So these what I'm saying are the things that I plan to offer to artists. What is?
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing your stickers, Asha.
Oh, oh, those are the emotes I do. Yeah. So so what I was just saying was what I plan to offer to make for artists, right? These that I personally do, I do emotes, I do commissions, I do stickers for people. Um, so right now, mainly commissions and those kind of things. I want to do prints, I want to do stickers, I want to do lanyards, charms, pins, all of that stuff. So I've been looking at resources all over. So
I
yeah.
mean, have you found any of those resources in Jamaica? I mean, I'm sure
Nope.
you can't find all, but they have some, not none.
Uh, I don't know of any places that do charms out here.
Mm-hmm.
Pins, I don't know any places that do pins in the way that, you have a character. Maybe you have like one or two pin manufacturers, but those are like, the little logo pins. No, you want a full character pin. They don't do that
As
out
in what
here.
is shaped like a character.
What about
Yeah.
button pins? Have you been unable to find like button pins out here?
I know people do buttons. I haven't personally done buttons as yet, but I know my friend he did buttons at the convention. So they know they sell buttons out here. However, abroad they have different shape buttons. Like so you have a heart
Right.
one. I don't think we know of anyone out here that does heart shaped buttons. Yeah, so it's
I'm gonna look and see if
very
anybody.
small out here.
So
And
I'm
even
out here
even if
about
you
to cry.
like, even if you look at the printing scene, right? Even the printing
Hmm.
Yeah.
scenes are so limited because when I went to do prints, right? When I went to a company to do prints, they only did one type of print, and that's not what you want. You don't want just one dead type of print. You have to have variety when it comes to art and prints. So I've been researching those and trying to source papers and trying to get every possible type of paper that I'd want for a print so that I can offer it to people. Even with die cut stickers, that the minimum you can buy for a die cut sticker is 3 square foot of it. And if you're a small artist and you take a look at one commission and you want to print a sticker, but the person wants you to print a sticker, you're not going to need 3 square feet of stickers
Worth of
for the one.
stickers.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to try to manufacture a business in a way that caters to artists, like so you can offer those options and actually have
Right.
full like stickers where you just like you can hold it in your hand, you don't have to cut it out. So yeah, I'm trying to because I noticed there's a lot, I try to do it myself.
Okay.
Understood. Understood. Okay,
But it's
so
coming along.
one of the questions I want to ask you as well is when did you get your first commission?
I got my first commission in like sixth form because that's around the time when I got my first tablet. And it was to do a logo for Youth for Excellence, which is a non-profit organization run by
Hmm.
someone who was from Campion, Jenny Shepherd. So yeah, they still use the logo till this day. And I was like, wow, it ain't that great, but thanks. Yeah.
And
I
how con-
got paid. Hmm?
Oh no, yeah, no, go ahead.
And
You
I was
got
saying I
paid.
got paid $3,500 for it at a time. I was like, that's fine for me because I haven't done a commission before. It's decent money. It's like a
Right,
simple little logo, and I don't know
right.
much about making logos, but somehow it has lasted through the years. I'm proud of that.
Nice, nice, nice. And how consistent has the commissions been since then?
Very inconsistent. Look here, the commission seems very inconsistent, but also sometimes I just fall off the map and then I come back on. So there's
Okay.
many factors that contribute to that. Oh, hold on, siren.
All right, it's gone now.
Yeah. So yeah, there are times when you fall off, but if you want to do commissions, you have to be kind of consistent with it, right? So
Right, right.
if I fall off the map, then no commissions really. And even when commissions are open, not everyone has money. Maybe you're not promoting enough. All sorts of things can contribute. So I don't do that many commissions as I'd hope.
Okay. That leads me to my next question, and this applies to both merch and commissions. Ha- Have you seen, or no, I mean, I'll say, have you seen, how has COVID affected those two?
Um. Okay. So COVID hasn't really, I think, affected the commission work, to be honest. Because not like I had many commissions doing before, but I get to stay home more. Or I think it's more of a positive if you look at it, because I got to stay home more, so I could work on it more. But also, people you have to look at the outside factors of people not being able to work, so they're not being able to have like as much expendable funds as they'd
Right.
like. So it's a two thing. Maybe I can do more commissions, but will you have the money to pay for that? So yeah, it's COVID. It's a tricky thing.
But the merch, though, it's definitely affected the merch.
Uh, yeah, because I couldn't even do convention. I really wanted to do the convention. That would have been a big thing. Yeah. So that really affected the convention because I was preparing. I was ready for it. I was like, okay, we're going in this with a plan. And then the plan got thrown out the window. I was like, okay, we don't have a plan anymore. We're winging
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I think that's the
Yeah.
motto of 2020. Well, no plan.
No structure.
All
And you
plans
don't know when
through
you're
the
coming
window.
back. And that's the thing.
Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
talking to the group to find out like if they plan to do something virtual, and they were saying, boy, they've been trying to figure out, how can they provide the same experience virtually, and it's
Yeah,
just something they're still discussing.
it's
It's
just
not the
not the
same.
same because the thing with the convention scene is that you can walk up to someone say like you weren't planning to go to, right? And if it's
Right,
virtual,
right.
how you getting the product? How you getting
Yeah,
the pins? You can see
exactly.
them, but how you getting them? So
And
yeah, it's
Exactly. I
I
think a
mean,
part of the appeal is, not only are you walking around and seeing things, but like you're just constantly walking around, and sometimes you're chatting to somebody, and while you're chatting to them, you look over at the booth next to you and you go, oh wait, this is cool,
yeah,
and the discussion starts. Or
yeah,
sometimes the case where you see someone selling and they're in cosplay and you're fascinated by the cosplay and you walk over
hmm
and it's like, how do you replicate that virtually? I don't know.
exactly.
Ooh, I'm in love with your line art, Asha.
Oh, thanks.
I'm having a love affair with your line art,
It changes from
particularly
time
that
to
purple
time.
one in the top.
Which one? Which one? I'm confused.
So
Oh, he
here's
going
my
back to the
question.
ancient times.
Yeah, man, I went back to the ancient times and we see the development. And this
Yeah.
this interesting looking plant.
Research day at UWI was a great time.
Great
She
answer.
did.
Great answer. One second. Oh,
Um,
so here's the thing now. You said, and then I'm gonna hand back to Sherry after this. But you
Mm-hmm.
said that you pretty much like all your work. So you
Mm-hmm.
kind of killed one of my questions. I'm gonna ask it anyway, just in case. But you know, do you have a piece that you consider embarrassing? Like you look back at it and you go, "Oh no, this no."
No, you
You
know.
probably don't, because she love everything she do. So then the next question is, what's your favorite piece? The favorite piece you've done?
Oh, oh, oh. To be honest, I think it's the Mad Hatter one, which is NSFW. By the way, there's a little nip slip, but I think that that has withstand time, and I love it so much. Not that
Is
one.
it
That one. This,
is
if
it
this
here?
girl. Yeah, you
You sure?
passed it earlier. It was in the
Okay.
olden days. No, it was down further. But yeah, that one that I really like that one. I wonder if I can pull it up. Hold on. That one, I think I did it like 2015 maybe, and it's the line art was just great. It just looks so good to
Hmm.
me. Hold on, I'm gonna
Well,
pull it up for you.
in the meantime, I can show everybody the piece that I bought.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. This is the piece that I bought.
Which one?
Terry,
Which one?
your eyes have stayed the same throughout
Oh,
the years.
I love eyes. I like the seductive eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
pretty.
this is my fave. This is one of my faves. This one.
Oh,
Ah,
that one.
Yeah. Imagine how many years ago it was, and it still looks great to me.
nah.
It is further down. I saw it. I
Yeah.
did not realize that was the Mad Hatter.
Yeah, she has like a tattoo that says Manhattan. I was like, I love it. I love it so much.
It is pretty dope.
It was like, when was that? 20, when was that? I can't even see, but yeah, it's so old.
2016 March.
2016.
Hmm. Yeah. It was in my bag. Yeah, I just
Okay.
love that so much.
So Sherry, you don't have no more questions for?
Yeah, I do actually. So we were
Okay.
on the topic of commissions.
Okay.
So you do a lot of work in Jamaica, as you said. Do you do any overseas? And if you do, where do you get more commissions? Do you get most of them from Jamaica, or are you in the overseas camp with Hachi?
Okay, so I feel like I get most of my commissions technically overseas. Primarily because I say overseas because even though the people that I know, it's mainly my friends and they like recommend me to other people, but you have a number of my friends from Jamaica who live overseas, so of course
Hmm.
they're overseas. So I get those overseas commissions plus they recommend me to their friends overseas. It's harder to for me to get commissions out here, I feel, because my prices are in US dollars and I think Jamaica has this mindset that it needs to be cheaper. And in America they spend, to be honest, they spend
Right.
more. And in Jamaica it's just like I don't want to pay that money for art. And I'm just like, well, it's quite different than just looking at it and say, it's art. It's the hours, the creativity, and all of that stuff. So I get most of my commissions from overseas because people are more. I feel like they're more willing to shell out money for art abroad than out here.
Yeah.
But I hope
Yeah,
that changes out here.
I'm hoping it will change soon. I think there are various groups trying to raise more awareness where that's concerned. I mean, there's JANN doing a part. There's
Mm,
Instant Creative.
Hmm.
Um, I know there are other bodies out there trying. But the truth of the matter is, yeah, some people look on it as just art, but the truth of it is, if it was just art, then anybody could do it.
exactly.
And if anybody could do it, why would they come to you? They must come to you because they see your art and they say, hey, that art has a certain vibe and certain essence to it that I want as a part of my brand. If it were just a case of, hey, I just need a character, then you could just go to anybody and get that drawn, right? But if you're going to a specific person, it's because their skill level stands out, and if it stands out, there is a value that's attached to
Hmm.
it.
Yeah, and that's
So
where the cons come into play, like especially the physical cons, because you get to see many different types of people art. You get to see many different types of art. You can go to them and be like, let me take up your business card. Maybe one day I'll contact you. So yeah,
Right,
there's a benefit to that.
right, exactly.
I really do think con culture would help with that because I believe a part of the reason so many people abroad buy art is simply because they do have the convention culture where you find your artists, you commission them, you follow
Yeah,
them on social media, and then you go to the convention to see them and interact with them
yeah,
to the point where San Diego Comic Con, New York Comic Con, Emerald City, these are big names,
yeah,
hundreds of
exactly.
artists from all over the world. So it's a huge industry that I want Jamaica to have. I want us to have
We'll
a
get there.
common
We'll get
convention
there.
that attracts.
Yeah, I've been looking into the foreign anime conventions, like trying to see how much I need to go, what would be the process. Trust me, it's not easy being out here in Jamaica and trying to look abroad. Like, first of all, you need the seller's permit, and I had to be calling tax places, and I was just like, this hurt my brain,
Mhm.
but I'm trying. I'm still researching it to
It,
see if
it
there's a
is difficult.
possibility.
And I mean, getting into the more popular conventions is always
Yeah, they sell it in like 1 minute, 2 minutes. That's crazy.
okay. So, more questions. So we've gone on to conventions and we've done commissions and we've done inspiration. What about collaboration? Do you help other artists with their crafts? Do other artists help you? How does collaboration fit into your art?
Okay, so it depends on the definition of collaboration. So, I don't mind giving advice and stuff. I don't mind showing people like examples and stuff like that. I would say I'm not a teacher, so I'll give them resources. I'll point you in the direction of like look at your stuff and critique it if you want. And I also made other people do that for me. I'll be like, hey, how does this look? Like, does this look nice? After Dream Dust Expo, right? The artists from that they formed a Discord group where you have different channels where you have one called Share Your Art, so you have a lot of people that post their art in there and get feedback from the different artists in that group. So I think that's also great.
Mm.
Oh, personally for me, yeah, I do go to other artists sometimes. Most times I just sit down and struggle until I finish and then fall asleep or something. But if someone comes to me, I'm never going to turn them away. That's the thing. Like, cause it's not easy. I had to learn everything like by myself or like through everything back in the days. Well, not back in the days, but back in the days. But yeah, I had to struggle and learn it. So if you have a question, you come to me. I'm gonna answer the question. I'm not going to be like, no, go find it out on your own. I had to do no, that's foolishness to me. So I will give you advice and I'll say, yeah, you can look here for this specific resource. I can compile a list of things. I will send you links, all of that stuff. So I don't mind the collaborative efforts or anything like that.
Okay, so I'm also in Dream Dust group, so I'm definitely going to ask because that is one of the larger collaborations that we've seen come out. What was that like? How did you guys manage working together? Because many artists want to collaborate on animations, and the organization part is hard. So
So
how does that?
I wasn't a part of Dream Dust. Like I didn't come up with anything in there. They just added me on, and I was like, wait, what? So that happened very random. But they when they organized that was pretty big because it was a lot of artists. I was like, wow, you guys managed to pull it off, and you had your websites and everything, and it was actually pretty good.
I bet it
Oh,
was.
wait, what was? Yeah, what was the other part of your question?
Well, I think you kind of addressed it. It was the what was the collaboration like? What was the organization part like?
Oh yeah, I can't speak on yeah because I wasn't on it. But I can talk about my presenting. Yeah, so that was interesting because I got to talk and they invited me on as well. Someone outside, so I didn't even know what was going on. I just got invited and I was like, I'll just share my experiences, and it was pretty good. You had the chat going, you had people interacting, you had the
Mhm.
questions being answered, a number of good questions. I wasn't out here at the time, so I was in America at a little end table with my computer on it, answering questions, trying to. Here, I've done things. So yeah, it was a fun
Trying.
experience.
Okay. All
I
right.
want
So,
to, I don't know if I can jump ahead of you, Shireen. I want to ask Asha this question. So, as like I said earlier, right? I hear you're an unofficial animation student. And as I understand it, you're already pursuing a degree at UWI, right?
I'm
Well, for
graduated.
one, what degree are you? Are you graduated? Okay, all right. So then the question would be, what did you study and how did you find time to, you know, be both an unofficial student and, an
Okay.
official student in another program?
Okay, so I did integrated marketing communications at Carmack. That's really fun because it also helps with this type of stuff, like managing your own stuff. To be honest, even though I kind of learned it from before, but learned a bit more just being in the
Yeah,
degree. So what I did to become an official animation student was that I just sat in some of the classes sometimes. And I answered questions because, I had the experience of doing art in high school. So I'd answer questions that sometimes people wouldn't answer because it's not a requirement to do art to get into animation, right? So I'd answer questions, I'd interact with the class, I'd do the class activities. And then, like, the following semester, I'd look at the schedules online and I'll add them to my schedule. I
and so
added
you
them.
just showed up. You just kept
I
showing up.
Yeah, the teachers, they knew me by that time, to be honest. They knew me. They knew my name. They took a roll call with me. I was on the list and everything. I added it to my schedule. I showed up to class. Sometimes I had clashes with my actual classes, and I was just like, I'm gonna go to this one instead because I already know some of the information that they're teaching me.
yeah.
So I just went to animation because I learned something new.
Shireen,
I,
to show you how bad it was, I remember seeing Asha in one of my classes. Didn't realize she wasn't in class. And like in some cases, I saw her doing the works. I swear she was a student. And then
okay,
she had
I
to say,
did.
oh, she's not really a student. And the worst thing is, she's doing the assignment, and some of the other students are not doing the assignment.
Okay, I hope this
Kevin,
is perfect.
Kevin, there's nothing bad about doing that because I'm also
I have to
guilty of
take
it.
class work.
But
Okay,
hey,
okay, the fact that when the final years were doing their showings, I was also up on the stage with them with their little voter flags. I was up there like a student. I
oh
was
my
like,
God.
I was in their
Asha, you
class with
are
them.
my
And I was like,
kindred spirit right now. You're my kindred spirit right now.
and I love the teachers so much. Like we'd be chatting to everything. The thing was, I originally applied for animation and I got in,
Mm.
but because I didn't have the funds to do it, and there was like no scholarships at the time for me to do it, I had to switch and did IMC. So every time I come, they're like, "Why you not in animation?" I'm like, so life go. But I come to the
Funny.
classes and be interacting.
And
It's
tell
fun.
them that you haven't gotten that Nigerian uncle's inheritance as yet. So
They had
still waiting
It
on
hasn't come yet.
he's coming. He's gonna kick the bucket. He's gonna get the money.
that.
So
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything because like I said, I'm also guilty of what you did. I actually have the graduation shirt from the seniors ahead of me because our program director was like, "Sure, come here."
My actual teachers kept mixing me up for an animation student. Like Dr. White and Dr. Obika kept thinking I was in animation. I'm like, sir, I'm in your class. You teach me. We are not on
If
the
you're
same
doing
page here.
No, actually, it's not their fault. You're doing work in other classes. You're attending. You're presenting. What are you talking about? You're an
Like
animation student.
I was at research day showing off the new tablets. I was there when they were installing the tablets in the lab. I was like, okay, at this point, it's fine. I'll take the title and put it there.
You're an
So there you
animation
have it, guys.
student.
If you can't afford to do animation, sign up for a more affordable course and then teeth into the animation. You'll get the
But do the
knowledge.
work. Do the work.
Do the work. You can't just teach it. You have to be a productive thief. You have to.
But I appreciate the teachers for not kicking me out outright. They were like, okay, you can join us. They were the Chevy, Corey, Shelton, all of them accepted. They did
It's
not
one of
kick
those
me out.
when you're a teacher, you want students that are actually excited about what you're teaching. So, you kind of don't really mind. If you came in and you're giving trouble now and distracting people, then
Exactly.
you'd have gotten kicked out a long time ago. But,
Yeah, and
that's
I've been
fine.
answering the questions. It's fun. It's fun for me.
So,
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power, right? So let me ask you this question though. Like where do you see yourself in 3 years?
All over the place.
Nah.
ah,
Like will
so
you
in
be in
three
business?
years, hope to see the business actually, the business I'm trying to start actually starting and going somewhere. Even though I'm also trying to get into grad school, maybe abroad, while trying to get a job. So I could
Mhm.
literally all over the place doing everything, trying to do cons as well. I'm trying to be a professional multitasker.
Yeah.
Trying to have a job, trying to do conventions, trying to go to grad school, trying to own a business. It's a lot of things.
So I see you'll be joining us with the bags under our eyes. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, they're already set in. You just can't see because of the glasses.
You see, I knew I should have worn my glasses.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, okay. So 3 years,
You
Asha's
know,
going to be all over the place.
there's another question I wanted to ask you. Um, what's what what's a skill that you wish you had? Like, is there any particular skill that you've seen and you go, I wish I could do that?
Some
Or
music skill, maybe.
music?
Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I like to learn an instrument because they're not cheap over here. Campion had like a piano, but you had to learn that and didn't have time. But like, you had people that would go to YouTube, learn and come and play the piano in the cafeteria and stuff in the auditorium. So I'd want to learn an instrument, be able to play an instrument. That's one skill I really want. Then I could make soundtracks maybe to put into animation for myself.
Yeah.
Do it all.
No, let me tell you, man, that is very important because Jamaica has tons of musicians, but we don't have a lot of composers. And I realize it's a separate skill in and of itself because
Yes, it
I've talked to
is.
musicians and I'm like, okay, I need music for this piece. It needs to kind of sound like this and have this kind of vibe. And because they're so used to making, tracks for a song, they can only think in beats. They can't think of,
In notes.
in notes and thinking, okay, at this point the music needs to ramp up, and then at this point it kind of needs to crescendo down, and you know we need less instruments here, more instruments there. It's like if the song doesn't have like 100 elements to it, it doesn't sound right to them because it's like they're just used to hearing a beat from a dancehall song, so they want to hear
Yeah,
this bass and that and this and that and that. And when you say,
Um,
no, I just want a simple little violin strum or I just want a simple little whatever, that's it.
exactly.
But yeah, we're building a mood. Like,
That's why I wish high school like they went more in depth with music and get rid of the damn recorder. Like I didn't learn nothing with that
yeah,
recorder, but we learned notes and then I forgot after you drop subjects. But music was interesting when you started to learn notes and write them down. I just wish they went more
yeah,
in depth.
right, right, right.
Maybe I could have done music.
Maybe, maybe. Shireen, are you frozen or are you just in that pose? I think she's
She
frozen.
was
Oh
frozen.
my god. Because I was just like,
I
what
thought she
was
was.
I guess her Wi-Fi has given out.
Oh dear.
lies and
Oh,
slander.
she's back. She's back. She's back.
I told you I was prepared for flows.
Ah,
Told you I was prepared. Uh, my Wi-Fi and I, we have an ongoing war, Asha. So I was prepared today. I
I
knew
can
it was
hear
gonna
it.
happen.
Switch to digital.
question. You kind of touched on it, right? But I kind of just wanted you to give me I guess a more in-depth vibe of what it's like being an illustrator in Jamaica. That,
Struggles. Just heavy size struggles. Yeah, Illustrator in Jamaica. You see, because I feel like many people or many businesses, many places they have yet to fully appreciate the artistic scene. And by that I mean that you know you're trying to look for someone to do your work instead of like giving them their price, which is supposed to be valued. They're like, now I'll just find something cheaper. I'll slap it in this and I'll send it through. And we're like, you could have gotten this really great thing, but you just too cheap. You don't want to support the artist. You don't want to evolve the scene or something like that. for me, I have to be looking to all sorts of revenue. I'm trying to stream, I'm trying to do online stores and stuff like that, trying to do everything just to make a little money. Where if maybe someone, like, if the scene was bigger, in my opinion, like, you'd
Hmm.
have more sources coming in. But yeah, I think it's very small out here, not fully appreciated. Even though we're
Yeah,
trying to push it in that direction, it's still kind of undervalued, and not
yeah,
many people know what goes into art and creativity.
yeah,
So they don't fully get it. They don't fully want to pay for it. Yeah, they don't know the value yet.
yeah.
I think
And
that's what
I
we
think
have to push that.
the market is probably very segmented as well in terms of like the client, the client side of the market is very segmented in the sense that I do believe there are a lot of people out there who want illustrations. They may not know where to look, and it seems to be that those who know where to look are the ones that don't appreciate art.
And
So
that's
they
not.
kind of, because like,
Oh,
I mean, put it this way, I've had situations where like you have some clients where they appreciate the arts, like you give them a price and they're not fighting you on the price because they appreciate the art. But then you have another set of people who they don't appreciate the art. And one of the things that I'm always um trying to impress upon them is that, listen, you come to the artist for a reason. They've been doing this for years. I know you think you know, but there are certain things you don't know. So, for example, they will ask you to do something, and you go, okay, if you do it like this, here's the problem with it, and they go, oh no no no, I know what I'm talking about, blah blah blah. And when you do it
yes.
the way they
Nah,
want to do it, it doesn't have the effect that they wanted it
exactly.
to have. And you go,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this is why I was saying to you that if you wanted to have this emotional effect on your audience, then it has to be done a certain way. That's what I find. It's like the market, we always seem to just buck up the wrong people, but there are people out there who will pay for it. Yeah.
There's also the thing where they think like everyone is the same thing. So they think an animator is an illustrator is a graphic designer. We're just like, you need to learn to
No,
differentiate by time
It's
now.
three different skill sets
that's
right there. In
Not the
fact,
same.
in fact,
no man.
I do have an example of this. I'm not naming any companies because we're not out here um, trying to tarnish
Calling names.
anybody's brand. No, yes, we're not calling any names because I'm not looking to get into no fights with anybody. However, I did hear that there was a company that hired a what I think they wanted a graphics. They hired a graphics designer, and shortly thereafter, the graphics designer had to leave because what they wanted was an animator, specifically motion graphics animator,
Right, right.
which is not the same skill set at all.
Yeah. Honestly, that is something that plagues us because I see some ads sometimes and it really boggles me. They advertise for a graphic designer, but then when you look on the description, um, must must know HTML, must know a whole heap of web design, this web design that, and I'm like, you want a web designer, you don't want a
The
graphic designer.
graphics designer.
And then I remember like some people used to call Jan and ask for an animator. And then literally, it's like you say, you send them an animator and then they're complaining. And then when they're complaining, you're like, what, why? I don't understand. And then when you really dig down deep, they either wanted a comic book artist or they
Mhm.
wanted a book illustrator. And then you're just like,
Uh,
yeah, it's animation is not like, or like the still character
it's
is not an animation. They're like, no cartoon that. No, a cartoon is something different. Right? If you want to get to the literal say, a cartoon is literally like those little short comic strips. But if we're talking about, animation, it's moving characters.
you
Okay, and
know,
then of
Kevin,
course,
you're giving me
yeah.
an idea for the website. We need
Oh,
a
really? Well,
definitions page.
true. But
Okay.
yeah, but no, that I believe will change in time because it's just a matter of making them more aware of. Oh, we were talking about definitions, putting definitions for the different roles on the website so that
Oh yeah.
people
Mhm.
can
Oh no, I wasn't there for
understand
that one.
It's
because I
like, do
just
you need?
want to make sure people know that artists do more than just draw. There's a psychology behind it, there's research behind it, there's the experimentation.
Whole
Compositions
science
don't
behind
just
it.
pop out of, yeah, the compositions don't just
Physics and
pop
all
out
them
of your
stuff.
head. Yeah, so But yeah, anyway, back to
Just
interrogating Asha.
yeah.
Give me a
Thanks.
best shot.
Okay, so giving Asha the whole 1-2 punch. Have you ever had artist block? And if so, how long? How long have you
Okay, I see. If you go on my Instagram, it's pretty evident. See,
felt that in the
um,
heart?
if okay, so there's the artist block that comes with depression, and then there's the artist block. If it's with depression, I've had it for like I've been in the artist block one time for like almost a year.
Ever and
Yeah, it's long, like half a year to a year. If not, it's just like regular artist block is like a good 3 to 4 months of just nothing. And then
And what
because you're
so
having the artist block, you kind of get depressed and just want to sleep all day. And then in Portmore, just too hot to sleep, so it's just
oh
stress.
boy,
It's just stress.
oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah, I've
What
had my
usually
share of
causes your
artist
block?
block.
and
Hmm?
then of
What
course
usually
you have
causes your artist block?
How do I combat it?
No, no, I'm saying what usually causes it. Does it just happen, or
Oh,
usually like,
yeah, I
oh,
think
there's no money and I'm depressed and I can't draw, or
kind of all. Yeah, yeah, the not being able to have any money will always make it like I don't want to bother with nothing right now. Because the heat also just doesn't make me feel, it just makes me feel lethargic. But then you just have times where you're just coming up blank. Like, I'd want to stream and I'll sit there and I'll just be like, I can't come up with anything. It's stress and anxiety if you're streaming and you can't come up with anything. So then I just don't do anything. There are times I just don't want to move. I just,
do
my
you,
brain just can't conceptualize anything. And it's, even if you try to think of something and like you try to put it on paper, it just doesn't look the same and you just scrap it.
do you ever has it ever been a situation where like after doing a commission, you're so burnt out that you just can't do anything?
Um,
Or are your commissions sometimes just so restrictive that when you finish the commission, you can't wait to draw your thing and be as free as you want to be?
okay. Yang Yang Bang.
yeah,
Um, with commissions, I don't usually like feel like okay. When I do commissions, right, there's a stress of anxiety of trying to make it perfect for the person, and that always gives me like high anxiety. But then when I finish, I'm just like calm down, and then I don't know if sometimes I just go straight to drawing or I'll take a break. It varies. I'll be like, okay, now I want to stream something. I can try and think of other ideas, but it usually leaves the artist block. I feel like I don't do much after a commission. I just like chill for a minute and try to recompose my brain.
Okay, you answered a question I was going to ask about if you ever get nervous about commissions, but you basically
All the
said that you
time.
get anxiety.
Stress, stress, stress.
Stress.
Literally, it's
Oh
such
boy.
like it gets really bad. Like I'll get nauseous. I'll have like aches and all that stuff, and I'm like, I just want to finish this. It's hurting my brain. I feel like I want to vomit, and then when I finish it, it's great. Or sometimes like the just starting it is the biggest stress, and then like when you blank out and you just get somewhere and you're like, wait, this actually looks good, and then the stress kind of just shifts aside, and you're like, I can continue.
hmm
Yeah, yeah. So what inspires your art pieces? Because I mean, you're talking about, sometimes you're drawing a blank, but like when you do get that flood of inspiration, what usually triggers it?
So I like music a lot, right? So I listen to a lot of songs, and I listen to songs and repeat. And while I'm listening to them, yeah, like it's kind of like if you okay. So when you listen to songs, right, you have like a scene play out. For me, I just have like scenes playing out or compositions coming in my brain. So a lot of the times, like, especially back when I was like doing a lot of original art, I just have ideas from songs and I'll just write it down. I think I have like an entire book filled that I'm still going to eventually do. It's been there for years, but I'm still going to do it. It's just like filled with ideas from the different songs or lines specifically that I liked or want to
Right.
draw or something like that. Or even sometimes I dream up a scene and I'll be like, I need to remember that dream. That was an epic dream. I'll animate it. For a lot of things, like especially in music, I've come up with like animatics for them. So I even like drawn out a storyboard for one of them, but I
Right.
just haven't done it.
That's
Good.
really big on YouTube now, though,
Yeah,
particularly for musicals.
I watch them all
Um,
the. Let's say I watch them all the time. All the time. I played the
it's
Hamilton soundtrack on streams so many times. They've gotten tired of it. I'm
So
going to
let me
anime.
ask you,
I'm going to
it's
animatics.
beautiful.
let me
They're
ask you this question because you're
so
always
amazing.
invading. Oh, sorry. No, go ahead. I didn't realize you were talking.
No, I was just saying. I'm just going. I'm going to the animatic one day because they're
Oh,
really good.
Hmm.
I was saying, well, one, I want to know, are you more of a creator, meaning like you have your own ideas and stories that you'd love to tell in animation, or are you more the person who wants to work with animators? And if the latter, which studio would you love to work for?
Okay. Uh,
Are you a storyteller? Do you ever write and come up with stories? Or you prefer someone said to you, hey, I have this cool character and you can just bring that character to life?
Maybe the latter, but I have written stuff for myself. Don't know how epic they are, but I've like written one or two things for myself. I'm like, I'm going to want to continue that story eventually, but just brain dead. But
Mhm.
uh, I think I'm more the latter where if someone says, "Yo, could you bring this to life?" I'm like, "Okay, I'll try." I'd like to
Okay.
do that more because it's less stress on me to come up with.
Yeah, no, I can imagine.
I like an
And like,
outline.
and which studio would you love to do like, character designs for?
No clue.
No clue.
'Cause
No
even though
clue.
you see, even though I like animation and all that stuff, surprisingly, I don't know many places. I've been trying to research more. I keep saying I'm getting like different, getting distracted by various things. So I don't really go as in depth as I like looking into studios and all that stuff. Like I know one or two, but would I necessarily go there and work? I don't know yet. I would like to go to Disney. I like Disney a lot. And the
Okay.
Riot Studios, even though I can't design games some for my life, but
Yeah.
we'll
No,
see.
it's
No,
there.
you
There
have
is a
to.
place for illustrators in gaming.
Yeah,
Don't
man.
let them fool you.
And
It's not all 3D.
I know, I
Exactly.
know, I know, but like I need to up my game first, and then I can go there. But I'd like to do studio tours. To be honest, I'd like to see how they work and then decide.
Man, Asha, you asking for the hard things because most top level studios they don't
I
let you
know
inside the rooms.
it's such a sad life. And even when they have the internships, it's very hard to get an internship from over here too. Because they're like, no, we're not going to pay for you to come up here. You gotta find that out for yourself. We're not going to sponsor your visa. It's just hard.
Okay, so I do have a question for you. It's not as serious as the one that Kevin's asking. So, thick or thin lines, Asha, or no lines? Where do you fall on this?
I can't do no lines. I wish I'm going to try and practice no line, but right now I can't do that. Um, most of I'm trying to move towards thinner lines now. Like if you look back, I once did thin lines and I did like thick lines and I like that. But now I'm trying to do more thin lines because I want to draw soft anime girls one day. It's a very important task. I need to draw them soft anime girls so that I can do the fan art. But yeah, like I'm trying to do thinner lines now because I can switch between the two, but I need to try and get it thin first so that I can be able to switch it up and say, I'm gonna do thin lines to this one, I'm gonna do thick lines to this one. They have their own vibe to it and I just like learning everything. So I'm gonna learn them both. But I'm slowly getting out of the thicker line segments to the thinner lines.
Okay,
I'm just in
so
the
that
transition phase.
that opens the next question because I feel like you sort of already answered it. Western animation, anime.
I love anime. I love anime. It's just more interested. I mean, the Western one is okay. The Western, they have some like goofy. Trust me, they have some great ones. I love Archo. I love the art. The
Mhm.
art, the art matches with it. I love it. Some of them they look stupid to me. And when they look too stupid, I don't want to watch it. Even though sometimes they might have a great story, but I always pass them off originally as looking too stupid. But I love animation on a next level. Animation, they have the dynamic poses. It's it's frame by frame. It's usually hand drawn, and I love that. Even though it's a lot of work, that's my
That's a whole
preferred
lot of stress.
style. Yeah, and apparently that's the one I prefer the most. So clearly I love stress, but I love the frame by frame aspect. I like the dynamic poses. I like everything, the camera movement. In Western animation, you don't see as much of it. So it's like, it's a
Mhm.
very simplistic thing with the goofy eyeballs. I can't stand the goofy eyeballs.
Is that to say that you wouldn't watch a Gravity Falls or a Steven
Oh,
Universe or
hello, I love those. I love
okay? Because
those.
I was gonna be like,
Originally, I think, which one did I pass off? I passed one of them off as looking stupid, and then I got addicted to it. There was a show, I don't remember which show. Might
I
have
feel
been
like
like
you're talking about
Steven
Adventure
Universe.
Time.
No, I love Adventure Time. That too. I think it was like Steven Universe. Yeah, I think it was at Steven Universe at the time. I said, this looks stupid. They look like they're doing dumb stuff. And then I end up being addicted to it. I yeah, binge watching and all that stuff. The story is great. The art, I like the art now. I really like the art. The art is great. But sometimes some of the shows, they just look so goofy. That
Hmm.
it's just, when they do the original thing, it just looks so goofy and you're like, okay, what's more than the goofy gimmicks? Like Wonder Over Yonder, I hate that. I can't stand the the
Fair
the
enough.
art,
Fair enough.
the coloring. I like the coloring of it, but like the story, it's stupid. I guess it's for kids, but cartoons shouldn't just be for kids.
I
Like how
mean,
Steven
Gravity
Universe is
Falls and
grown,
Steven Universe is also for kids, so
but they have bigger, like they have bigger topics in them. Like Gravity Falls has a bunch of jokes that adults will get. Steven
mhm.
Universe has a lot of topics and great jokes, and even Adventure Time is hilarious. So those are, I like those. Might not have been Steven Universe that was dumb, but there was some cartoon that was dumb, but I liked eventually. But yeah,
Cool.
I still prefer anime.
Still prefer anime.
This
No,
is
I
so
totally,
great.
totally get. No, I totally get it because I feel like, I mean, I used to be more of a Western animation lover, but over time, they're starting to feel very, very formulaic, and you almost feel like there's very little variety.
Yeah,
Whereas with anime, there's a lot of variety, and you can kind of sense it too when you talk to a lot of the execs. It's like, oh, we're looking for a show like this, we're looking for a show like that, and you realize there are like 4 or 5 different shows just like that because for some reason, oh, dogs are popular, so now we need to have like 5 dog shows. Whereas anime seems to explore all manners of different things.
every single,
Uh,
once you can think of it, it's going to be in an anime. You have
I
pirates on
mean,
a ship. Like,
guys, I'm going to fight you on that
I
because
mean,
no, I am going to fight you on that because I'm sure, and I'm going to use the latest trend in anime as the example, which is the isekai trend.
but there's more.
I know. I'm just gonna say anime does have the same problem. I think it's just that their variety is so large that even when they fall into formulae, you can still switch to a whole nother genre of variety. Because right now you have 6 shows with slimes as the main character.
Oh,
Um,
really?
and let's not even get into Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and
But no,
Digimon
but no,
and
but those
like
have been around since forever. Those have been around since forever. Now we have more variety, okay? Because I would read a lot of shoujo manga. I mean, they
hmm
have like similar storylines, but some of them just very different. Whereas in
hmm
Western anime, you have, okay, you're going to have this magical girl with this magical donkey or something, and they're just going to be working through the power of friendship. Like it's like a knockoff of anime. Anime does the friendship thing cooler, and then you're just like a simple play.
No, it's because anime is not
Cooler.
afraid to be embarrassing. Like anime knows it's anime and it says we are going to do because when you see live action versions of anime, you have to kind of close your eyes for a bit because people don't act that way in real life.
I don't
Anime is
watch it.
very aware that they can get away with certain things because they're not live action.
Yeah,
Yep.
the Western cartoon doesn't have that much zazz. Like Steven Universe does it really weird, where you have the action and everything. Even
Mhm.
Adventure Time, Gravity Falls did it amazingly. Like it
Huge
has that
Gravity
extra
Falls
value.
fan.
Yeah, you
I'm
watched it. I'm pretty
oh,
sure
here
you
is a
watched it.
question, and this is for all of us. What and this is about Western animation. Is there a Western animation you've seen right now that you're really excited about? You think they're doing things right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll let Asha go first, and then I'll go after.
No, you go first. I can't think of any. I haven't watched TV in a while.
So
Let's say anything about TV.
it's hard to admit, right? Because I have to go and research. I have to go and look through the credits because
Mhm.
sometimes you see what looks like a Western anime, and then when you check the credits, it's pure Koreans or Japanese work on it anyway. But right
Maybe they
now,
outsourced.
Invincible, that yo,
Oh, I want to watch
every
that.
okay, let me explain something to you before you watch it. You can't watch it around any kids. I would advise you to watch it around your parents
I
because
saw the
not only
trailer
I'm
and
not
there was
talking
blood,
about
and I was like,
there's more
I
than
am the
blood,
child in question, in case
there is
anybody is wondering. I am the child they're talking about.
no. Let me tell you something. Like when I watched the first episode and the end of the first episode, the gore that I saw, like put it this way, while I'm watching the episode, I'm like this. This is nice. This is nice. And then at the end of the episode, I was like, what the?
did you not watch the trailer? That is exactly the reason why I
No,
wanted to watch it. There was
it's
so much blood. I
worse.
was like,
And
finally, they do
no,
blood.
I saw the trailer, but it's worse than the trailer. It's worse than the trailer. Trust me,
I'm
it's
gonna
not
watch
just
it.
blood. Trust me.
I'm gonna watch it so much.
Come.
Did you
Uh,
say it was called
Yeah,
Invincible?
yeah, Invincible.
Invincible
I think
on
it's from
Amazon
Amazon.
Prime.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
they
I don't have
release an episode
Amazon.
every Friday.
You need Prime, right?
Yeah, you need Prime.
Yeah, that's my
I
issue. I'm
mean,
broke.
you don't need Prime. You should have Prime.
No, Kevin, you
How?
need Prime. Stop it.
Wink, wink, blinking, wink.
You need Prime. Stop it.
I wanted to watch it
Guys, we
eventually.
just spoke about people not paying for artists. Stop it. You need Prime.
Yeah, I don't know
Um,
of any Western one because I haven't done anything for myself in a while. So I haven't
oh
watched
God.
anything.
Okay,
And
so
it's hard for me to think of anything else. I mean, because like I said, it's very hard to figure out what's Japanese and what's not. Because like Kippo is very awesome. There's a thing called Alligator. Is
oh,
it
the
Alligator?
alligator boy.
Oh,
I
I
think
like
it's
people.
Milo the alligator boy or something. I've
Right.
seen I haven't watched Kid Cosmic yet. I want to.
Oh,
My
I know
favorite so
nothing.
far. Oh no. No, so what you going to do after you're just gonna write down and then in
I'm
a
just
blue
gonna save
moon
it on
sometime
Netflix.
in a blue moon when the moon is full and the planets align you just
I'll go on Disney and look at which ones art I like.
for me I have two because
Nice.
yeah I have Hilda because I love
Oh,
Hilda.
Oh, yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
I I really love Hilda. I am rewatching it. I'm on my third rewatch, and
Oh,
I'm
wow.
approaching. I'm approaching the episode. At this point, it's the studying rewatch. The first one was just wow. The
Oh,
second one was just to
Oh, yeah.
enjoy it. And now I'm on the how did they do this rewatch? And my other one is a show called Owl House
Oh,
which
yes.
I really, really love because it reminds me spiritually of Gravity Falls, and it has a lot of
It looks like
I'm
that.
it has a lot of puzzles and hidden things in there for those of us, the crazy
Oh,
fans who just analyze everything about the show.
I'm gonna love that.
Yeah, so it's like the episode names will spell out a code and they'll have hidden messages inside that will give you hints about what's to come and you can kind of theorize
wow.
about the lore.
Oh, it's
They put
big
a
brain.
it's very big brain. Love
I
I
love it.
love
I'm gonna
Owl
watch
House.
it.
And it has a magic system that I haven't seen in a while where usually your magic system is oh you can cast a spell and but magic is this innate thing inside of you and it does have that but they've also introduced a way for somebody who does not have this innate magical power to use magic that makes sense in the world. So the world has sort of glyphs and everything in the world that is involved with magic is related to this glyph. So for example, I don't want to spoil anything, but the snow that you see falling, if you
Hmm.
catch it and you look at it, it's not actually snow, it's a magical glyph. And if you draw that glyph, you can produce snow.
Ooh, oh, that's
That's
nice.
it.
So that
And
that would be how a human being would use magic in this world, and it's really, really amazing.
oh,
So I love the writing that went behind it and the amount of world building because I'm a world building nerd. Comes with playing Dungeons and Dragons, but hey.
I want to learn that too. Infinity Train looks interesting to me. I haven't watched it, but it looks interesting.
Yeah, one of my
Yeah.
students called me and said, "Sir, you need to watch this. I need to
Oh,
check
I
that out."
also remember which show was the stupid one. Was Star versus the Forces of Evil. I thought it looked stupid, but then I got
Oh,
addicted.
no,
I thought it
that's
looked
crazy.
so stupid.
Oh, I just remembered another one, Final Space.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I need to watch that.
Oh, those
Is it just
guys.
me saying I need to watch, and you guys being like, "Yeah, I love it." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, no, I literally saw they did why Final Space is so special to me is because they did a teaser for YouTube, and that teaser landed them a deal to get the series done. And it was just unusual because it wasn't like they were going after people to, get it done. Like people saw it and they were just like, yo, I want to do this. Like there were like three major companies like fighting over the property. And I was just like, wow. And they didn't change it much. Normally they would change a lot of stuff. Nothing was changed. Like when you look at the art style, everything. And it was really funny because the guy said that he was doing the animation on his own on YouTube at first,
Mm.
hmm
and it wasn't really taking off. And he wasn't that good a character designer, so it would never look that great. And then it was talking to some animators in, I think it was Australia, and they decided to help him out, and they animated that little. I don't remember how long. I think it was maybe a 3 minute short, and the short was so hilarious that I was like, all right, I need to watch this when it came out, and the series definitely lived up to the expectation.
That
Okay,
reminds me
so
of
now I
Helluva
have to.
Boss.
Oh, Busy Pop,
Yeah, yeah, that's one that I can talk. I watched that. I
Hell of
love
a
Helluva.
Boss, and Hotel has been more in the animation. Busy Pop is, I think she got popular with a music video actually, the one she did for Kesha.
Oh, I did not know about that. I only knew about Hotel Has Been, and then I've been watching they've been releasing the series for Helluva Boss on YouTube. But
hmm
Hotel Has Been, I don't think has anything besides the pilot right now. But I've been watching Helluva Boss. It's really good and hilarious. The jokes are gross.
It's not made for kids.
It's not.
Let's just put that out there. It's not made for kids. Hell of a Boss, Hotel has been. These are for adults.
There is an animation. I wouldn't call it my favorite, but it's something that I put on my list to finish watching. I watched the first episode. It was very, very interesting. It was called Midnight
Gospel.
Midnight Gospel. Yeah, yeah,
Ooh.
Midnight Gospel. Um, I don't remember if it was you who pointed me to it or someone else pointed me to Midnight Gospel,
I
but
think I mentioned it to you. Mostly because someone else pointed it to me. It's very trippy. It's
it
a
is really,
whole.
it's like a
eh,
podcast that they turned into an animation, or a podcast that they decided to do as an animation. It's really, and it's like, just to give you a hint, it's like the first episode, they're talking about an alien invasion is happening, right? And this alien has come to Earth to interview the president. And while interviewing the president, they're fighting off aliens during the invasion and stuff like that. But while they're fighting them off, they're literally having this serious conversation about politics and why America is the way it is today and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, this is kind of trippy because you're watching it and enjoying the invasion, but at the same time, you're taking in this knowledge. Like, this is very interesting stuff. Lord, whose truck is backing up?
And then there's a truck in my driveway. No, it's soon gone.
But
There's like
yeah,
someone just cleaning in your background, and I'm just like trying to hold it in. It's just
yeah,
chilling.
yeah.
Okay,
you see, guys, it's because you can't see what's going on. There's just me and my wall. You can't see everything.
Yeah, I don't have any other options, unfortunately.
It's
But yeah. But yeah, no, check it out. Midnight Gospel is very interesting. Like I say, it's definitely not in my favorite because I'm not like running to watch it. But after seeing that first episode, I'm like, all right, I need to check it out some more and see how this lasts for a season.
Nice.
Good.
I should look into it.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, guys. So we are at that 11:39 mark. So I'm gonna suggest we wrap it up right now. As much as I'm having fun chatting to y'all, I'm sure we all have days that we need to get to.
Yeah.
So
Pain.
again, thank you very much
Oh,
for being our guest and the creative of the month for me. Right. So one other thing, because you're the creative of the month for me, what we're gonna be doing, I'm gonna, we're gonna release this video, but on top of
Hey.
it, we'll be, releasing stuff about you on our Instagram, sharing your photo and some of your work in our posts, as well
Oh,
as you can do a live demonstration of something, if you want. It can be pre-recorded as well, just depending on what you prefer, but just letting you know that you have that option for the month of May. If there's something you want to demonstrate, draw, or whatever the case is.
let
I
us
shall
And it
try
will
to
know.
be
come up
on
with
YouTube Live,
something.
right?
Hmm?
Right. It'll be on YouTube Live,
No, I do Twitch.
or you do Twitch.
I don't know how
What's
YouTube Live
that look,
works.
Sherry? What's that look?
No, I know how YouTube Live works. Don't worry. It's the same. It's really easy. You just get Streamlab, you log into YouTube, and it works the same as Twitch.
It does not. There was someone like that was trying to set it up one time, like a streamer trying to set it up, and it was just giving so much problem. And no, it was for Dream Does, yeah, where they were trying to set up like a live stream, and it was just giving so much trouble with links and all of that stuff. And we're just like, this is like Twitch exists.
Great. No, the thing with YouTube I've realized is that they have a background thing to prevent you from accidentally streaming something you don't want to stream. So what you do is you click on
Oh,
YouTube Live, you copy your streaming key, and you drop it into Streamlabs. And
Yeah,
then
see,
you
my
click the live button in Streamlabs, you check it in YouTube to make sure you're showing what you need to be showing, and then you click live in YouTube and it goes live.
much work, too much work. I just connect OBS to Twitch and have panels and everything. That's great. And you have your monitoring station and
I've done both,
Twitch.
so I ain't knocking you. Twitch
all right,
advocate.
guys.
Twitch supremacy.
All right, guys. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, and hey, Asha, have a great creative of the month.
Thank
Okay,
you.
okay. Yeah. I'll see
Bye.
you in the group. Oh, I need to send you the invitation because you will also be featured as Artist of the Month in Discord. So I
Oh
need to
yes.
send you the invitation to the JANN group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty,
Do
guys.
I have you? Right.
You have my email?
Bye. We have our email coming.
Yeah, man. Have our email.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, we do. All right.
Bye.